How would you like to make a full-time income working only 2 weeks every month? Sound good? On January 1st, 2020, I will have been working 2 weeks a month on clients for 7 years. And it's something that I've been teaching ever since I started doing it. First, I was like, I think this is going to be cool. A year later, I was like, this is actually pretty cool. A year after that, I started giving talks where I said, here's how to actually do it. And as far as I know, no one's done it. Except this past weekend, I stumbled upon someone who's been doing it since I think 2015. So it's like, oh, this is fantastic to see someone else who understands that you can make a full-time income working 2 weeks every month. So let's get into it. This person I discovered, Pia Silva, she calls it the 50-25-25. That's actually a long way of saying work 2 weeks every month. But here's what's good about that time. So you take your 100% of your time and you divide it in half. So if you're working 40-hour work weeks, then you've got 80 hours of total work that you can do on clients. Then that leaves another 50%. What do you do with that other 50%? Pia says that she likes to split that into two. So 25% of her time goes towards working on her business. All the things that you need to do, administrative, marketing, advertising, creating content, all gets shoved into a single week every month. And then that fourth week, and this is a great use of this fourth week. The fourth week is personal time, personal development. What are some of the things that you want to do in life? Well, her husband is an artist, and so one of the things that he wanted to do in their business was to have more time to dedicate to his art. So he works 2 weeks a month on their clients, then he helps out creating content and everything else on that other week, and then on his fourth week of the month, he works on his art. He just focuses on that. He gets a whole week completely dedicated just to his own personal development. And Pia does the same thing. The reason I'm telling you this is it's reinvigorated my belief in this system because I've been doing it for almost 7 years and I realized I started wasting some of that time. Sure, I'm still doing client work 2 weeks a month, but the thing is I've started wasting that other time, that fourth week. I just let it slip away. I've not been dedicating that 1 week to my own personal development. Even just a vacation. So the way I set up my calendar is that there's 52 weeks in the year. If you divide that by 4, that's 13 months. Well, we don't actually use a calendar that way, so we have 12 months and we're going to work 2 weeks on client work, 1 week on our business, and then 1 week is personal time. Well, there's those 5th weeks. There's 4 months with 5 weeks. What I do is I block that 5th week out as vacation time. And so I take a vacation. Actually, after I finish filming this and uploading it and sending it off to Pedro, my video editor, I'm going on vacation because it's a 5th week right now. But after I get back from this vacation, it's going to be the first week of the month and I'm going right into client work and I've rededicated my time. So I'm going to continue doing client work on the first week and the third week. The second week of the month, I'm going to make content just like this. I'm going to make as much content as I can. I'm going to do all the business stuff that I can, create ads, do all the marketing, make sure my website's updated, all those kind of things. And then on the fourth week, I'm going to go back to doing personal development. I'm going to focus on me, the things that I like doing, my hobbies, the stuff that I really just want to get done in life are going to get dedicated on that fourth week. And then on those 4 months where I have a 5th week, I'm going to go back to the way I used to do it when I was more dedicated to this process. And I'm going to take that 4th week, tack it onto the 5th one, and take a 2-week vacation. I'm just going to chill out, disconnect. I hope for anyone that this resonates with that you give it a shot. It works very well with solopreneurs, consultants. If you're a freelancer, this works very well because you don't have to worry about maintaining an office. You don't have to worry about having staff and all that stuff. But it also works when you have a team. If you've got contractors, then you just make sure that they're working on your third week. You make sure that they know what they need to do on your fourth week when you're dedicated to your personal development. When you're on vacation on your fifth week, they know what they need to do, and they don't have to ask you questions. They don't have to rely on you. They get to use their own brain. But I will give a caveat. If you are in a fast growth business, if you're building an agency and you are wanting to get big, well, you're probably not going to get to use this. It's probably not going to work out as smoothly as it would if you have a smaller team. Now you're probably thinking, yeah, Tim, yeah, that sounds good, but there's no way you can earn a full-time living in 2 weeks every month. Just not possible. Can't do it because I'm working full-time every week, 52 weeks, and I still can't make a full-time income. Well, it is possible. I've been doing it now for almost 7 years, and Pia has been doing it with her business since I think around 2015. So it is quite possible to earn a very good living. So one of the things that she tells about in her story is that when she made this switch to this style of business was that she was able to get to $500,000 a year in revenue. Granted, there were two of them, her and her husband running this business together, but they got to $500,000 a year in revenue with both of them only doing client work 2 weeks out of the month. Pia's math works out like this. 2 weeks a month times 12 months is 24 client work weeks. She earned $500,000 in revenue. Divide that by 24, and that's nearly $21,000 a week on average. Sure, she probably had some client weeks where she made less than $21,000 and some where she made far more than $21,000. But the average for her client work weeks was $21,000 per month. She was able to do this because she packaged her work. She does branding for companies. And what she did was she set up a program where she does a strategy, and I've been preaching this on all my videos about selling strategy, selling your thinking. She starts off every client relationship with step 1, her brand shrink. That's what she calls her strategy session. She gets to know the client, knows what their problem is. Essentially, everything you do in your sales process for free, she gets paid to do, which is what I've been recommending on all my videos. Go back and watch them all. After her clients get through step 1, after they get through the strategy, they understand what they need to accomplish their brand goals. And she provides them the next steps. So they may go off and do it themselves or hire someone else, but usually they hire her. And her fee is about $20,000 to $25,000 to work on their brand. And the cool part is she guarantees that they're going to get it done in 1 week, actually a couple of days. The person's going to come out to her office and they're going to complete the brand rework in just a couple of days. They do a whole bunch of prep work on their client weeks, but the client time, the parts that they're client facing, the client thinks this is moving so fast, it's so easy for me, because they did all the work behind the scenes and then they bring the client there for those approval parts. All the parts where you send something off and you wait for weeks for their response. Well, she gets them to make the decision right there in the office in a matter of a couple of days. So her and her husband build out everything that's necessary and make all the changes face to face with their client. So when their client leaves, they've got all the assets. They've got their website, they've got their logo, they got their messaging, and maybe a video and some other things. And they walk away happy. And this whole process was not dragged out over months like most people who do branding or website designs. They just drag it out over months. She's able to get that $25,000 in a week, get that person to come in and commit and get it all done. This is very powerful, and most of you watching this can shift your work over to this. For anyone who's in like IT services or something where you're coding and you're maintaining equipment or something, like there's this ongoing stuff, in even like Facebook advertising where there's that maintenance side where you're managing the account over time, well, that would be like step 3. So what you need to figure out is your strategy. What's your step 1? Sell your clients that first. Then you sell them the step 2. What's something that you can complete in a single week? And then if there is any maintenance, if there is anything that's going to be ongoing recurring revenue, then that is step 3 for you. Now you might be saying, well, Tim, that sounds awesome and everything, but I'm not going to earn $25,000 in a week. There's just no way anyone's going to pay me that. Well, here's the thing. Pia didn't charge $25,000 in a week either. She started off with like $3,000 for essentially the same thing she charges $25,000 for. You know, there's some new things and some twists and stuff that got added into it, but it's not dramatically different from where she started. She went from $3,000 to $10,000 and then eventually made it to $25,000. She even has a package that goes up to about $50,000 for people who want everything done for them. So that is something that you can figure out wherever you're starting, whatever your price that you can command today, that's where you're starting. But as you get better and you build better processes for your step 1 and your step 2, maybe your step 3 also, as you build these better processes, you'll be able to increase your rates because people will be able to see the value more clear than they can when you're getting started, because you don't have a lot of case studies, you don't have a lot of evidence that what you can do in a single week is of that much value to them. But in time, after you've done this with several clients, you will be able to start commanding higher and higher fees. And within a short amount of time, with Pia, she said it was in less than a year, I think like 9 months, that she was able to bill $500,000 in revenue by switching to 2 weeks every month client work and completing that work in a few days per client. How awesome is that? I hope you've been intrigued by this idea and you're going to take it seriously and look at your schedule, look at how you do your work, and see if you can re-engineer the way you work so that you can make a full-time income in just 2 weeks every month. And don't wait 2 weeks. Hit that like button right now. Subscribe, share, comment, do all the socials, and let's see each other right back here in the next video.